in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Live on a rooftop. Roxy's Rooftop Pub right here in downtown West Palm Beach at Clematis. Top of the Rocks, they call it, which is attached to Roxy's Pub. We are on top floor right now. You can see this. Mike and I are on a little bit of like an Encore Beach Club type of seating in front of a pool. Outdoor seating. They got a big stage next to us. We're live on site here in Clematis having a good time because the No Shave November event presented by Young Lawyers section of Palm Beach County Bar Association is a month-long online giving campaign featuring community leaders growing beards to raise awareness for men's cancers and funds to help men in Palm Beach County who are struggling with the financial hardship that comes with treatment. Please support the headliners, which are happening tonight. They're all getting shaved. Then join us tonight, beginning at 5:30 p.m. at the Top of the Rocks at Roxy's Pub in West Palm Beach for the award ceremony and the live shave-off. Every dollar raised by the headliners is earmarked to directly help local men and their families raise money so they can focus on healing and recovery, not financial calamity. Tickets for the award ceremony are only $20. You could get them today by going to CAAH.org and go to the No Shave November event. You get your shot?
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to get us. So, guys, at Mike Rizzo 22, I'm giving you I'll tell you what. They're like, where do you want to set up? I go, set up. I'm putting us at the VIP. We're at a VIP table. We're at a VIP table. I took our tablecloth, I slapped it on a table, and here we are. You could be VIP with Russo and Rizzo coming up tonight. Can't wait.
Wow. All right, that's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm, ESPN South Florida. Got you for the next 2 hours. A lot to break down today. Coaching carousel moves. There's a couple updates on the Ole Miss side of things who have actually decided that their offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss Jr., yes, the son of Charlie Weiss, who got on the plane with Lane Kiffin when Lane Kiffin said, get on the plane or don't get a job at LSU. It was been announced that he is returning to coach Ole Miss for the playoff. He was going to be back, and I don't know if he's going to be back permanently, but the offensive coordinator of the team is going to be back coaching. That's number one. And Kalani Sitake, the head coach over at BYU, has been there for about 10 years, over 12 years. And he was the leading candidate emerged for the Penn State job. So, after yesterday, everything was going around saying that, all right, Penn State is going to get their guy. They're going to get Kalani Sitake. They're going to sign him to a big contract. And the Mormons caught word. And what happened? The CEO of Crumble Cookie, and on top of that, a number of other big donors for BYU, and basically the BYU family, because it is a family. It's attached to the church, attached to the Church of Latter-day Saints. There has not been anything official yet, but it sounds like they sort of boxed Penn State out here, and we're not going to be seeing Kalani Sitake take over as the head coach of Penn State football. And I don't know if people would have liked that job or not. There's no doubt that this guy's a good coach, and I think part of it was he wanted to compete for playoff opportunities. I don't know if it was a financial incentive, but on top of that, what BYU did promise him was, hey, we're going to invest more money to the team. We're going to give them more of an opportunity to win, and we're going to give you a nice little pay raise. I'm not sure if that was enough to really sell him, because I think BYU getting left out of a lot of these playoff discussions the last couple of weeks probably hasn't sat well with the head coach of BYU, Sitake. But now I think you got to flip this a little bit on to Penn State, who, mind you, was viewed as a dark horse for Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer if he was planning on leaving, or a dark horse for all the SEC guys that bounced around, Summerall and all these places. And now Penn State is sitting here kind of with their pants down, looking around. All right, who's going to coach this team? And if it's not going to be BYU's head coach, well, they're going to have to make a decision in the next couple of days here, because I'm not sure where you go, because that's a huge job. It's a huge job that's going to warrant, $8 to $12 million annually. Post James Franklin, you don't need something immediate, but you need something different. So I think Penn State is sort of the one that gets burned here if the Mormons ended up stepping up to the plate and keeping their guy around.
And I never thought the hire, if they were to hire Sitake, I never thought it would make sense. I talked to Christian Kapp, Penn State man, our producer at the City Place Studios, never been east of Cincinnati. How are you going to I think it takes a specific kind of person for the Penn State job. I thought James Franklin was a good hire. Granted, not necessarily a Northeast guy, but he was able to figure things out recruiting. He was able to figure things out on that end. I never thought the hire would have made any sense. He's a West Coast guy. Like, I don't know.
He's a Utah guy.
Yeah,
he was at Southern Utah, too.
But like a West Coaster, a Western guy. He's not a Northeast Penn State kind of man. So I actually think Penn State dodged a bullet in that sense. I never saw that working out for them. Now, I will listen to them botching the coaching search. I mean, they have completely swung and missed on everybody. Who's available? Where do you go from here? I remember Jeff Brom. We were asking about Jeff Brom at Louisville. I think he re-signed. Like, there's not a lot of options anymore. And if I can loop in Christian Cadd, who's back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. I mean, Christian, at this point, do you go with the interim coach maybe for a year to figure things out? You saw what Stanford did this year. Stanford went Frank Reich, and then they went to the NFL to find a coach. Do you think Penn State maybe finds a caretaker for a year, and then you figure this thing out because there's no answers right now?
Yeah, the dirt sheets have burned me. The dirt sheets have certainly burned me on that, man. They might have led me astray.
What coach other than the guy who's in there is going to take a 1-year prove-it deal?
Colin, can we give some context on exactly what the dirt sheets are?
Go
Christian,
ahead.
what are the dirt sheets again?
The dirt sheets are the $5.99 that my college friend spends a month to get inside information on Penn State's coaching search information, and they were hot on Kalen DeBoer. Apparently, BYU Sataki was the mystery candidate the past couple of months. That's what they're trying to allege right now.
They're trying to save face, yes.
If Pat Kraft, Penn State's athletic director, does hire Sataki, they'll have the ability to say, we got our guy. And you are right, Mike. It is a great coach. It is the opposite of a fit. This guy, it doesn't make any sense. I really don't understand it whatsoever. This guy is being pried away from his dream job. We're hearing quotes about how he used to hang out outside of the BYU stadium listening to the PA announcer because his dad couldn't afford tickets to the football games. And he's got to sleep over it. He's got to pray over it. So if it's not final yet whether or not Sataki made his decision, it doesn't look good right now for Penn State fans that want him in Beaver Stadium. If Penn State does hire him, you're prying this guy away who's going to be homesick on day 2. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Mike, you said that Penn State might have dodged a bullet by not getting this guy. I think I agree with you. And to answer your question of where do they go from here, I think you go interim for a year, then prepare for 2026's coaching search.
Agreed. I just, at this point, give me a name. You know what I mean? Outside of Jeff Brom at Louisville, and Colin, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that guy got an extension as well. I mean, give me a name that is realistic for Penn State at this point.
Yeah, was going to leave.
That's that too. Colin, we do this for a living. I can't tell you who the hell they would hire. Now that so many, Drinkwitz at Missouri, are you going to get him?
It's not a bad one.
Maybe Drinkwitz? That's the best I could come up with.
He went on the record and it's like, I love it here in Missouri. Yeah, he's not going to happen either.
Yeah,
and Heupel put Penn State in the freaking dirt yesterday, talking about how he likes high standards, and that's not the case at Penn State. He loves Tennessee. Oh, it is just a shameful last 48 hours for Penn State football fans.
Heupel's got an unreal recruiting class too. I don't think he just leaves after having, getting the number one recruit.
He's a good coach too.
That
would be an A+ hire if they got him to Penn State. He's a good coach.
You're not prying Lincoln Riley from USC. He legitimately has the number one recruiting class this year too. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves. I'm trying to read the tea leaves of maybe current head coaches who could be on the outs.
You go get the Georgia defensive coordinator, Glenn Schumann. You can do that. Everybody likes him. They haven't had a great year defensively, but he's sort of that. Kirby was Nick's, and who's going to be Kirby's? It's sort of like that.
Who's the next guy up? You got to find the hot young coordinator.
We're done on Fran Brown. You see he signed a rapper the other day?
What?
Yeah, a guy who has a rap career.
I had to take, if you're watching the YouTube stream, I had to take my sunglasses off. Oh, what?
Fran Brown, the head coach at Syracuse. Syracuse signed a kid who's a rapper.
So let me get this straight.
He's got hit songs.
Christian, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
They lose 70-7 to Notre Dame, and first reaction is, got to get that 3-star rapper on the team.
Got to change things up.
Got to get the 3-star rapper. Now, Christian, if I could circle back around to Penn State, would you be interested in Brian Hartline? I keep hearing rumors that Brian Hartline, by the way, offensive coordinator for Ohio State, he is the guy, by the way, who recruited Emeka Ibuka, Jeremiah Smith, that loaded receiver room for the last decade at Ohio State. Would you have any interest in him coming and being the head coach after doing a great job calling plays for the Buckeyes this year?
You know, you asked me that question 2 weeks ago, and I'd say no. But now, who the heck's left? Like,
right.
I guess, yeah, sure, why not? And I keep on reading the dirt sheets, and they're talking about meetings that didn't go well with Brian Hartline, but I don't even know if that information's real anymore.
Yeah, don't buy anything you read on those. They're taking your money.
Yeah, I think maybe get your subscription back. Your buddy should get his $5.99 back.
Apparently, they wanted Mike Elko. If Penn State, if A&M season didn't go as good as it went, they were
the
ironing
coach of the
Elko.
year. They wanted the coach of the year this year, Mike Elko. But realistically, if you're not going to give it today, you give the coach of the year to Elko, who had an unbelievable year in the SEC. But anyway, I digress. I guess those are the couple of names. Kyle, you mentioned, what was his name? Georgia defensive coordinator.
Glenn Schumann.
Brian Hartline.
Kalani Sitake.
Drinkwitz. But apparently Drinkwitz is staying in Missouri. So, yeah, Christian, I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss of words with how kind of strange, I'll say strange, this Penn State head coaching search has been for the Nittany Lions.
The Sitake situation is bizarre. I'm going through his career right now. He was Eastern Arizona College. That was his first job, as a coach. Then he went to BYU to be a grad assistant on defense. Then he went to Southern Utah, so he stays in the state of Utah to be the running back and tight ends coach for about 2 years. Then he goes to the University of Utah, which is BYU, a synonym of BYU. That is the University of Utah. Plenty of Mormons go there over in Salt Lake City. He was a linebacker coach and defensive coordinator for a number of years. Assistant head coach eventually. Goes to Oregon State for a little bit of a stint for half a season. And then he goes to BYU for the last 11 years. Why would he leave? I agree. I completely agree. Unless he's getting some sort of cold feet. Oh, I'm never going to make the big one. I'm never going to make the big game. And then he gets, and the one thing about the BYU, too, is you want to talk about a hard job to fill. You think Penn State's hard to fill? BYU's hard to fill.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's an official policy, but it's a strong recommendation that a coach has a Latter-day Saints membership.
No,
so that means you need somebody who's a Mormon. So you need somebody to be a coach. And I believe, loosely off my basic research, do not take my word for it,
shooting from the hip,
only one of the coaches in the entire athletic department is not Latter-day Saints. And it's a women's cross-country coach. Now, and that's head coach only, not assistants, head coach only.
I'll say this. A lot of money is in BYU now. I mean, you see it on the basketball side with DeBancis.
Oh, they got the crumble cookie guy. They got don't tell me the church is involved. I mean, the church is bringing some money in. So that's a big part of it. The Mormons are a wealthy community.
Right.
They're all in Utah. They hang out in these little areas where they hang out and they just basically live on millions and millions of dollars with 10 kids. And then
they hang out, huh?
So they got plenty of money, so there's no doubt there. And BYU is definitely trying to – and it's a proud school. You keep that in mind. It's a proud school.
Agree.
It's a proud student body. It's a proud athletic department. You got to give them a little credit there.
Where I was going with that is, are they turning into like a powerhouse? Like a dual sport powerhouse for basketball, football? I mean, listen, I can sit here and tell you how they'd lose to an SEC team or a Big Ten team because they've lost one game. They lost one game in a Power 5 conference, and they've
won 4 road games in conference against teams above 500.
My gripe with them is I think the lone arguably good/great team they played, they lost tremendously to Texas Tech.
And good news is they're playing them again. You know, it's weird that this all comes out that Sitake's having this sort of existential crisis with his career at BYU when he's got to play an in situation this weekend. If he plays and they win, they're in.
Is he covering bases?
I don't know.
Is he covering? Hey, listen, I might take this job.
Maybe this is a type of thing to try to rile up the guys. I believe in you. Let's go get them tomorrow. Like maybe it's something like that, trying to rile up the guys at the perfect time, 3 days, 4 days before.
Now we're going to be making our top 10 with Good Greek moving and storage. But Colin and I, we're going to be making a college football playoff bracket instead, with all the drama surrounding that. Colin, we'll talk more about it coming up next segment. But we mentioned if BYU wins. If we want Notre Dame out, BYU needs to win. If BYU wins, then you put it in the committee's hands to keep Texas Tech out. BYU has a chance to be
they're not going to keep Texas Tech out in favor of Notre Dame, who doesn't play this weekend.
To bring it back full circle, BYU and Sitake have a tremendous opportunity at hand in that Big 12 championship to really screw things up. So does Duke. But at the same time, I think the fate of Notre Dame lies with the Mormons at BYU. I do. I think it really does.
I think you're right. I think Alabama's in regardless unless they get absolutely destroyed in the SEC championship game. BYU is definitely on the outside looking in. They haven't gotten nearly enough buzz to warrant a surprise consideration by the committee. They're going to need to make the committee put them in. They're not going to get in via any sort of pity or a luxury vote or an at-large. They're not getting that. It's made that abundantly clear to this point. BYU is not changing their positioning unless they take a position. And maybe Texas Tech is going to go in to play the game, but they're not playing for as much as BYU is. BYU is playing for their season. I'm under the impression Texas Tech knows they're in win or lose. And I'm not saying, Texas Tech loses that game. Yeah, they're annoyed. They probably don't get a bye out of it, but they're still in the playoff. They're still in the playoff.
I hope you're right.
There's absolutely
I hope
still
you're
in
right.
the playoff. They're absolutely still in the playoff.
They're gonna keep Notre Dame out.
Awful unless they get destroyed. It's an awful precedent
They won't
to
get
set
destroyed.
because it's exactly what happened to SMU last year. It's exactly what, and putting SMU was the right decision last year. It didn't work out, but it was the right decision in terms of what came about. They played the extra game. You can't burn them for that. You got a number of teams. Miami's not playing an extra game. Vanderbilt's not playing an extra game. Texas not playing an extra game. Notre Dame's not playing an extra game. A lot of these schools are not playing. A&M's not playing an extra game. You can't burn the one school for playing in a tight game and losing the second time around.
The only time I've ever seen this before, and listen, before I bring it up, I want to know for the record that I was against it at the time. It's reminiscent when Penn State won the Big Ten and didn't get the invite and Ohio State did. That's the only time I can remember where playing on conference championship weekend didn't mean anything in the eyes of the committee. The only reason I think if BYU wins that Texas Tech is going to be left out is because the team that is there has gold helmets and has the ND next to their name.
There's no way.
Colin, they
There's
will
no
not
way.
leave Notre Dame out.
Mike,
they're not leaving
Mike,
Notre
I'm telling
Dame
you,
out.
they have no choice.
That's why I said I hope you're right.
No. I am. There's no way. There's no way.
Watch them. Watch them.
No way. Notre Dame's already a fringe team as it stands today. They're not going to be regardless burn Texas Tech, who has killed everybody all year. And after that one game against Arizona State and one of the two against BYU, who is ranked in the top 15, they're not going to burn them for that.
Watch them.
They're not going to burn them for that.
National championship last year.
You want to say you're thinking of a situation where this happened? This happened last year. This happened with SMU and Clemson. Clemson stole the bid.
And it was the wrong decision.
No, it was the right decision. It just didn't work out.
It was the wrong decision.
Mike, hold on. Who are they going to put in? Ole Miss, who lost in their bowl game. Alabama, who lost in their bowl game. Or South Carolina, who lost in their bowl game.
But
those are the older three.
But you know it's different with Notre Dame being an independent and you put the best 12 teams in. Do they look like one of the best 12 teams? I heard Marcus Freeman spew that garbage today. It's already started.
You could say that when you're thinking about at-larges. The teams playing this weekend are safe. The teams outside of the ACC championship game, which only one of the teams, neither team is safe. And the Big 12, I would say that one of the two. Out of the major Power 4 conferences, there's 8 teams playing. I would say that Alabama, Georgia, Indiana, Ohio State, and Tech are safe. That's 5 of the 8. 5 of the 8 are safe.
I think the only way ND doesn't get in, Notre Dame, the only way they don't get in is if Duke wins and BYU. I think they're going to come up with some garbage to keep
Duke
one
wins
of the
and BYU. Duke is still getting in. Remember, there's only going to be 5 conference champions that get in, period. And that's not going to change. Whether Duke wins, Duke's not going to get in. It's going to be James Madison.
Exactly. And that would not go – because Duke wouldn't get in because it would be the winner.
It wouldn't change the number,
All right, so for the sake of the argument, North Texas wins their conference game. They would be the 5th best conference champion, correct? And then JMU would get in.
Right.
That's why I'm saying that's the only way Notre Dame doesn't get in.
No, because
if a crazy situation like that
I think you're mixing it up.
Am I right?
No, because I think you're mixing it up. If Duke were to beat UVA this weekend, still, whether UVA or Duke wins, 5 conference champions are getting in. And whether it's either going to be the ACC team or the James Madison team, that stays at 5 regardless. You're making an argument for at-larges. At-larges is where you have the slight numbers, where you essentially have 2 spots. 2 spots available. Alabama's pretty much, in my opinion, locked into one, unless they get absolutely destroyed this weekend. And the other one is Notre Dame's fringe. So Notre Dame's fringe and they got Vanderbilt, Texas, Miami, all on their tail, and BYU is also on their tail. But BYU plays this weekend. So that's the bid.
So you're saying JMU gets in as a conference champion if they win?
If Duke wins.
Yeah, if Duke wins. But what would happen to the North Texas? They would
also get in. Because think about it this way. North Texas and Tulane are ranked higher than Duke as it stands today.
Right.
Because Duke has 5 losses, and North Texas and Tulane both have 1 and 2
losses. If I'm getting
this
right, it's 5 conference winners and a group of 5 teams.
I see where you're getting confused.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking that an additional team is being added by Duke losing. No, it's just a substitution. Because there's going to be there's no ACC representation.
Exactly.
That's it.
I guess that's the point I was trying to make.
There's going to be, if Duke wins that game, in my opinion, unless Miami, they decide to flip them, That is going to be
But that's how
ACC lists.
That's how but to bring it full circle, that's how Notre Dame gets left out.
You think
that's the only way they get left out.
All right, so I'm following.
Now
where
you're following.
You think that because there's going to be no ACC school in, the committee will think we got to put an ACC school in this, and therefore Miami will leapfrog Notre Dame?
I don't think so. I think
what ACC school's getting in?
None. You punish the ACC.
Wait, okay,
you punish the ACC. That's what I'm saying, though.
But you said that's how Notre Dame can miss it. So we're not on the same page. I'm glad we're figuring this out. Hear me out. Do you think the committee will think at any point, all right, Duke beats UVA. UVA, the teams that got into the championship are not representative of the best in our conference. Do you think it's fair that the committee can say, all right, Miami is probably the best team in the conference. They didn't have a chance to play in the game. Notre Dame is in. Miami already has this big argument to leapfrog Notre Dame. Can we do that to put an ACC school in, give them a little representation because they're going to want some, and get Notre Dame out because that's just you get screwed for being an independent. If you want to screw Notre Dame for being an independent, which we've talked about for years, if you want to screw them, that'd be how you screw them. ACC representation, it would be a pity substitution, but it could work. And they could listen to that.
I've been ringing the Miami bell all year. I think they're one of the teams that could actually win it all. They're the only team that could win it all and win a game in the ACC. But if Texas, you're telling me if BYU wins and Duke wins, Texas Tech would still get in at large?
I think so. I'm under that.
But
impression.
that's why I think
I'm under that impression.
But
yes.
So what I'm saying is, and I'm sorry if I'm confusing the hell out of you. JMU gets the at-large as the group of 5, and then Texas Tech would fit into the final spot. So there would be no spot for Notre Dame or Miami.
That's it. That's how Notre Dame gets screwed.
Exactly. That's there's no Miami conversation. There's no Notre Dame conversation.
Yeah, it's not even about that. No, yeah, we're on the same page.
Okay. All right, good.
That's
what we need to have. That's what I'm rooting for.
And that's what both of them
I hope you know that is exactly what I'm rooting for.
And then nobody can say anything. All right, well, hey, Miami beat Notre Dame. Well, hold on. Texas Tech, that's the fair way. The committee, I'll tell you this, the committee might be rooting for that.
The Texas Tech will, no, because they're going to screw Texas Tech. They're going to screw one of those teams.
No, they're not.
You have to put in a group of 5, so they're not getting screwed.
Mike, they're not going to screw them.
I hope you're right.
They're not going to screw them.
The Notre Dame bias in this country is out of control.
Mike, Texas Tech is playing this weekend, and Notre Dame is not.
You watch.
They are not going to bury Texas Tech, who is 5th on the college football playoff rankings. They're not going to drop them 8 spots because they lost an extra game.
Till you watch the college football playoff committee show.
No, Notre Dame Goggles are a little strong
What's the date?
A little strong
What's the date
December
next?
2nd.
Oh, no. December 9th. Until you watch the selection show.
Well, the selection show is on Sunday.
8th.
December 7th.
8th.
All right? 8th. Damn it. But you guys get what I'm saying. Christian, quickly. There's no chance they let Notre Dame not get into the playoff. Do you agree with me on this? Even if Texas Tech loses to BYU and Duke loses to Virginia? Duke beats Virginia, excuse me.
I think they've made their bed. Notre Dame's in.
Yeah, I do. There's no way they don't put that team in.
You're not cutting
I agree
out
with
Notre
Christian.
Dame.
It's terrible.
I'm sorry. You're not cutting out Texas Tech.
Watch them.
Mike,
watch them.
Logically, they set the precedent. Hey, if you play in your conference championship weekend, you can't get burned because you're playing an extra game compared to 5 of the 6 schools. 5 schools are playing an extra game, and the others are not. So how is Notre Dame going to stay at 10 when the number 5 team loses to the team that's 13? And then all of a sudden, you got to put in that 13 team, and you're going to hurt that team and drop them down to 13? That's ridiculous. You can't do that.
The committee, Colin, can do whatever the hell they want.
This is Notre Dame buyer.
It's unchecked.
Listen, I hate Notre Dame just as much. You got to think logically here. They're not doing that. Okay. There's no way.
Unchecked power, Cal.
888-760-3776. Do you think the committee would favor Texas Tech or Notre Dame if BYU were to beat Texas Tech this weekend in the college football playoff rankings as an at-large? Would they favor Texas Tech, who is playing the extra game, or would they favor Notre Dame, who has already been slotted in as probably the final at-large? Would they still give Notre Dame the nod? 888-760-3776. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo live at Top of the Rocks, Roxy's Pub here in Clematis. Couple things here. First things first, if you're on your way down here and you get into a fender bender, you got to call Anajar and Levine and make sure that you're covered. Because if you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, the type that like fighting for you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Listen, when you're trying to figure out who you're going to go to for an attorney, don't settle for just any attorney. Settle for the best. Demand the best. Demand Anajar and Levine today, because take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control with Anajar and Levine. All right, Mike and I just got confused with each other on how to do it. Let's put it in writing. We'll make college football playoff bracket on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight and your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Evan Cohen here, reminding you that ESPN 106.3 is the official home for Inter Miami Soccer. Saturday, it's the MLS Cup Final. Inter Miami hosts Vancouver with a championship on the line. Don't miss Messy Magic. Streaming live at 2 on the ESPN South Florida app.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
This is the Inter Miami save of the game.
Falcone. Oh, he misplayed a ball in the left box. Here's a shot. Rocco Rios Novo makes the save. A left box blast, left foot, but it was right at Rocco Rios Novo from Maxi Morales. First shot on target for New York City, but Rios Novo, no real problems with that shot.
Brought to you by PNC Bank. PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
No Shave November, presented by the Young Lawyers section of the Palm Beach County Bar Association, was a month-long giving campaign featuring community leaders growing beards to raise awareness for men's cancers. No Shave November also raised funds to help men in Palm Beach County who are struggling with financial hardship during treatment. Please join us tonight, 5:30 at the Top of the Rocks at Roxy's Pub, 309 South Clematis Street in West Palm Beach for the award ceremony and live shave-off. It's an evening of fun, all centered on honoring the participants who let their beards go for a cause, and the families who benefit from the support. Every dollar raised by the headliners is earmarked to directly help local men and their families so they can focus on healing and recovery. Your contribution makes a real, immediate difference for people right here at home. Tickets for the award ceremony and live shave-off are only $20. They're available for purchase. Just search CAHH No Shave November. That is CAHH No Shave November.
It's a Twin Peaks Tuesday. Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge for eats, drinks, and scenic views. This is ESPN 106.3. Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
888-760-3776, number to get into the program. Is the committee going to favor a Texas Tech that loses to BYU this weekend in the Big 12 Championship as an at-large bid, or are they going to stick with Notre Dame, who's already slotted in as an at-large over Miami and probably that last spot of the playoff that is up for grabs? Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3 from Top of the Rocks, Roxy's Pub here in Clematis Street in downtown West Palm Beach on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, December the 2nd. Let's go to the phone lines. We'll start in Lake Worth. Kevin in Lake Worth joins us now on Russo and Rizzo. Kevin, what's up?
Hey, guys. So I was
Kevin, are you
overhearing
with us?
your yeah, can you hear me, guys?
I got you loud and clear. What's up?
Hey, guys. So, yeah, I was just hearing what you guys were just talking about there, and there was just one thing I wanted to touch on with Colin saying, no logical way do they have Notre Dame going over Texas Tech. Well, logic has gone out the window with Notre Dame up until this point. I mean, they're being compared to a team that beat them, right? And somehow they're above all these other teams even though they really haven't beaten anybody other than USC and the armed forces teams. Hey, go America! But so
we love our troops.
Goes out the window when it comes. Yeah, we love our troops, but logic goes out the window when it comes to Notre Dame. So anything can happen with this college football committee because they literally, as they're talking about two teams, the next two teams that they talk about, everything that they just talked about goes out the window. It's only these two teams that we're comparing now.
Now, Kevin, let me ask you this. After saying that, and after saying that logic goes out the window with Notre Dame, which you could have an argument for, do you think they'd keep in Texas Tech, or do you think they'd put in Notre Dame?
I don't know. It's losing when you're a 12.5-point favorite in a conference title game. It's not a good look. So I think that's where Notre Dame could possibly jump them. I think it's kind of crazy that the number 11 team in the country is a 12.5-point underdog. Doesn't really make much sense to rank them 11 if they're that big of an underdog against number 5. But again, this is the college football committee. They make up the rules as they go.
Yeah.
So they can literally say anything. I mean, I'm shocked that nobody's making the case that Ole Miss shouldn't be out of the college football playoff after losing their entire offensive staff.
I'll tell you what, Kev, Florida State fans certainly think so.
Yeah, I disagree with that, too.
I do, too.
I mean, it was a 14 playoff. It was a little different. Appreciate the call, Kevin.
Yeah, but I think you're giving too much credit to the committee that they're going to kind of stand by what they've done in the past. They don't care. They're going to do whatever the hell they want every single year. That's my 2 cents on it, and especially when it comes to a team like the Fighting Irish.
I disagree.
And a fan base.
I do not see the vision in which they could do that and get away with it. I really don't. I could understand Notre Dame and Miami because Notre Dame Miami is an argument. You want to talk about the head-to-head? The head-to-head was 3 months ago. Fine. All right, fine. We can deal with that. It was August. It was August 27th. All right? So, yeah, you want to forego the head-to-head. Head-to-head is part of the pie chart that goes into deciding which team is in the playoff. I think Notre Dame benefited off their previous rankings, especially in the preseason, and they worked their way back up from 20 all the way up to 10. How are you going to drop them now? But to that same token, what I will say, Texas Tech is 5. Texas Tech is 5. To make the argument that 7 other teams, and I know 2 are getting auto bids with the conference champions, to make the argument that they should drop out of contention, I think would be absolutely ridiculous. I really do. It just doesn't make it logically, I don't see it. And maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I give a little too much credit to the committee.
I just can't hold them accountable. And the year I go back to, and it was a 4-team. I understand that. It was a 4-team at the time.
It's a different game.
But Penn State, who won the damn conference, and honestly, it's coming from an Ohio State fan, we did not belong that year. They got screwed. So I've seen it before. That's all I'm saying.
That was back in the day when the championship games determined who was in the playoffs. You can make the same argument that the same year that Florida State was left out, so was Georgia. So Georgia was left out, and they lost 1 game in 3 years against Alabama in that SEC championship game, and they did not get let in. And then they went and destroyed Florida State in the bowl game, 63-10. So you got to keep that in mind. Punishing teams for conference championships died when they expanded. It died when they expanded. At least we think. If you get burnt, and SMU last year lost in the last-second field goal from 56 yards. I get it.
That's how they justify it, though, with how bad the SMU matchup was.
Hey, you know what? Maybe Texas Tech, if they don't get in, can go play at the Boca Raton Bowl, which is coming up, the 2025 Boca Raton Bowl, the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans. That's right. It's 12th year. It's coming up Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m., Flagler Credit Union Stadium down in Boca. You can watch it on ESPN. You can hear it on ESPN 106.3. More information can be found at thebocaratonbowl.com. Come see 2 of the biggest and best teams from that group of 5 that are going to get their chance at the title and for some beans, which I believe Mike and I
signed us up for.
Signed us up to get launched.
Son of a gun.
For a bunch of Bush's baked beans. Thousands and thousands of ounces of Bush's baked beans. Nonetheless, 2025 Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, Tuesday, December 23rd, Flagler Credit Union Stadium. All right, let's do this. Let's put together a little bit of a college football playoff. Let's do it with Good Greek Moving and Storage, our top 10.
Who's moving up?
Went from unranked to the 14th team in the country. They were more motivated going into that game.
Who's moving down?
Can they have a good season after this? Maybe.
It's time for Russo and Rizzo's College Football Top 10 Poll. Presented by
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
folks, you hear me talk about Good Greek all the time. All right, my friend Spiro, they are the movers you could rely on. They are the safe option that you could rely on with your family. I mean, if you got movers there, if you got Spiro and his team there, they're the ones you can trust to leave at home with the wife and the kids. You got to run to Home Depot. You got to run somewhere and go and grab some. You forgot this, you forgot that. They're the ones you can trust because they have all been through the Spiro Superhero Movers Academy. They're the safe option, they're the smart option, and the world's total relocation service here in South Florida. You got to hit up my guys Spiro and Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com for more information. That is GreekMoving.com for more information. All right, I told you, Colin and I, we're going to get our 12 teams, and we're going to make a playoff where they're good friends at Good Greek today. So, Kyle.
Let's find our teams before we put them in spots.
Correct. And I think you and I are in agreements that Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Oregon, for now, Texas Tech, A&M, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma.
Well, you're not under the impression that Texas Tech is a lock. So let's do our locks first. It's everything you said. It's Ohio State. It's Indiana. It's Georgia. It's Oregon. It's Ole Miss. It's A&M. And in my opinion, it's Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's – they don't play this weekend. I think they're locked in.
Okay.
Outside of that, do you think Alabama's a lock?
I do.
All right.
I think Bama is a lock, and they're a team you got to put in. That leaves Notre Dame, Texas Tech, BYU,
So
Miami.
that's 10 teams we have there, right?
Yep. So Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Georgia 3, Oregon 4, Oklahoma 5, A&M 6, Ole Miss 7, Bama 8. And then from 9
2 more conference champions and the Big 12 champion.
Right. So
you got the ACC.
Let's put for the sake of the argument, let's put Texas Tech at 9.
Let's say Virginia. Let's do Virginia here. Let's say Virginia wins.
Okay, UVA at 9, at Tech at 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now we need group of 5.
North Texas guy.
Dude, I love that offense.
And that's
I'm
one more.
so in on that. Well, one more, the one more are Miami, Texas, Notre Dame.
All right, so
and
we're
Vandy.
not the committee. How would you do it?
I put Miami at 12.
You think Oklahoma deserves the at-large?
I do. That schedule was impossible, and somehow, some way, they have 2
You think BYU has more of a piece of a say to the piece of the pie than Miami does?
I didn't even mention them, by the way. So once again, the teams that Colin and I are deciding to be 12: Vanderbilt, Texas, Miami, Notre Dame, and BYU. I think Texas is out. Can we get rid of Texas? Would you agree on that?
I think Texas is out. I think Vanderbilt's out.
That sucks, though. They lost 2 games in the SEC, and they're out.
And they
What's
lost,
their signature
and they lost
win,
2
though?
road games. They lost 2 road games to Alabama
and Texas.
They had a great – that was their first season in the history of Vanderbilt where they had 10 wins. You got to give them a little credit for that.
That's why it sucks. Like, they don't have a signature win. Like, Missouri – like, if Missouri was better.
They beat LSU. They
Tennessee,
beat Missouri.
4-loss Tennessee and a 500 ball club in the SEC. Listen, I think they did a great job with losing their starting quarterback. That's not me going after Hubel and the hill they had to climb before the year. All right? But at the same time, I agree with you. It just stinks. Vanderbilt eliminated. That leaves Miami, Notre Dame, and BYU. Right now, remember, this is right now. BYU and Texas Tech have not played in the Big 12 championship yet. This is this week's college football playoff bracket we're making.
We're not the committee. How would you do it?
You got to give it to Miami. They beat Notre Dame head-to-head. I think if you want to look at the strongest team since that SMU loss, I would vote that it's Miami. Now, Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman would say they are blowing out Pitt, winning by more against Pitt than Miami did. I understand all of that. I still would put Miami, though, because I don't care about style points. Those games early on in the season should matter. I would put the Hurricanes at 12. I'm interested to hear what you would say here.
BYU.
Oh.
Not even a question.
What's their signature win?
They won at Utah. They won at Arizona, both ranked teams. They had a bad loss to Texas Tech. They lost 1 game. Any 11-win Power 4 team should get in. In a 12-team expanded playoff, an 11-win, I don't care where you're from, an 11-win Power 4 team should get in. That's just my perspective on it. I don't think
You're giving a lot of credit to Utah and Arizona. I just don't think those. Listen, you're right. Bad losses for Miami. I'm not arguing.
They beat Iowa State on the road. Iowa State's 8-4. They beat TCU on the road. TCU's 8-4. They beat Cincinnati on the road. Cincinnati's 7-5. These are a bunch of above 500 teams. You want to go through the games. Let's see Texas A&M, who's also an 11-win Power Conference team. Let's see who they have beaten. They had Notre Dame. Great win on the road. They beat Auburn, who's bottom of the SEC. They beat Mississippi State, bottom of the SEC. Florida, guess where they are in the SEC. Arkansas, dead last in the SEC. They played LSU. LSU fired their coach after the game. And then they have Missouri on the road. Missouri was a good win. I actually think that was probably their best win
They
of
got
the year.
2 wins. They got Missouri and Notre Dame.
That's it.
They got Missouri and Notre Dame.
It's not as great of a – and I like A&M. And A&M should get in because A&M won 11 games. And outside of that, they beat South Carolina, who's bottom of the SEC
Are
as
those
well.
teams, are those SEC teams you went through
They're
better
much
than
better.
the Big 12 teams?
Yes, they're much better. But the thing is Texas A&M's a lock. What reasoning, other than what we're being told, is BYU should they get left
They
out
got
of this
smoked.
equation?
This is the argument. Listen, this is the argument, Kyle. They got smoked
Would
by
you
the
rather
only team they
lose to
played
the
on the
team
schedule. That's what
big?
they're saying.
Would you rather lose to the team big, who's going to be the 5th overall team, who's going to get a team that gets a bye? Would you rather lose big to them, or would you rather lose to SMU and Louisville, one of which at home?
But the Notre Dame
If you asked
win,
any team in the country, they would say
how much
the first.
weight?
They would say the
The
first.
question I think we got to ask, and how much weight does the Notre Dame win carry?
Clearly not much. The committee doesn't care. Clearly not much. Do I think it's a big win? Yeah. They lost 2 games in the ACC. We hate the ACC. You hate the ACC.
They stink.
They lost 2 games in the ACC. Why is Miami a lock?
Because of that win against Notre Dame. And
Well, why is Notre Dame a lock?
Because they're Notre Dame. That's the best answer I can.
So if I'm
to
the
your
committee,
credit,
if I'm
to
the
your
committee,
credit,
BYU.
that is and sadly, that is the best answer I could come up for.
And
it's
if you're
because they're
roll,
Notre
if
Dame.
you're rolling your
All right?
eyes, then you're not here for the right reasons. Because they had an 11-win schedule. Look at the road games. Played a lot of tough in-conference road games, and don't just tell me it's the Big 12. They're in the Big 12 too. Just keep that in mind.
So
the ACC stinks. And we had multiple ACC schools in there last year. I would argue BYU.
Let me ask you
I
this.
understand your argument.
Let me ask you this. I'm gung-ho on Miami.
You don't like the Miami, you don't like Notre Dame, you don't like making a decision between the two. How about leave them both out?
You're gung-ho on BYU. Can we have Christian be the deciding factor as the third person of our show?
It feels like you're stacking the deck here, Mike, because you know that I think Miami should be in the playoff.
But I don't think, if Miami and BYU played, Christian, what's the score?
I think
Be
that's
honest.
unfair to
Why?
make that because that's
And why is James Madison in? Why is James Madison in?
I hear you.
Why
I hear
why
you.
is Tulane in? What do you think the spread would be Tulane at Kyle Field? What do you think that spread would be? The spread's going to be 15.5.
But
that's not
this
fair.
is an at-large, Kyle. They
Fine.
have to be in. They have to be in according to the rules.
I am pro.
This is an at-large. That's my argument.
Mike, they put together a body of work that, in my opinion, should get it.
Christian, I need an answer.
You want him to be the deciding factor? That's fine.
So
But
what's the exact dilemma?
It's Miami or BYU. I'm gung-ho on Miami at 12. Kyle wants BYU.
And you're assuming BYU loses?
No. To this week. This is this week.
We're not even considering this
okay.
weekend.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
this week. Who are you putting at 12, Miami or BYU?
Putting
Once
BYU
again,
in
for
right now.
BYU? Okay, that's fine with me. BYU. Once again, our top 12 presented by Good. Usually it's top 10, folks, but we're at that time. We're going to make it our top 12 presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. We're going to come up with the bracket, and we got our teams now. Ohio State at 1, Indiana at 2, Georgia at 3, Oregon at 4, Oklahoma at 5, A&M at 6, Ole Miss at 7, Bama at 8, Virginia at 9, Texas Tech at 10, North Texas at 11 for the group of 5, and BYU sitting at 12 as our at-large to get in. All right, how this shakes out, Kyle? You got BYU facing off against Oklahoma.
Hold on. Now let's do this properly.
Correct, and I got it up.
Who's getting the buys? Buys?
It's 12. It's 12 versus 5.
Well, I know, but let's do the buys first. Let's get the teams who are not going to play first
Sorry.
weekend.
We got Oregon at 4, who's got a bye. At number 1.
You want to give Oregon the buy?
I think so. Would you rather give it to Oklahoma, A&M, Ole Miss? We already had them at 4.
Well, the winner of the Big 12, Tech. Tech's going to get a buy. In my opinion, today, Tech gets a buy.
Okay, so let me switch this. It's Texas Tech. At
Let's
4.
Let's say Georgia
Yeah.
wins the game.
Okay.
Georgia gets a buy.
All right, so let's switch Texas Tech.
Here's
Oregon.
my perspective. Tech wins the game this weekend. They're getting a buy over Oregon.
All right, we switched Tech and Oregon. Texas Tech sitting at 4. I'm fine with Ohio State being number 1.
Okay. Ohio State, Indiana. Keep Indiana at 2. What difference does it make?
Georgia.
Georgia at 3.
Okay.
And then Tech at 4. Those are your 4 buys.
And
if I
then
had to call it
2
today.
is Indiana.
Yes, just do that.
Okay. All right, so there we go. The 4 teams that are on a bye. Texas Tech, Ohio State, Georgia, and Indiana.
I think Oregon's going to be that 5th seed.
And by the way, the reason I did it that way, the winner of the 12 and 5 is playing the 4. The winner of the 9 and 8 is playing the 1. The winner of the 11 and 6 is playing the 3. The winner of 10 and 7 will play the 2. All right, now we could get into the juicy matchups in round number 1. Colin, the 12 we had was BYU. The 5 we had was Oklahoma.
BYU wouldn't be the 12. The group of 5 would be the 12. Keep that in mind.
So North Texas at 12.
North Texas would be the 12. And then the ACC would be the 11. BYU would be the 10.
Okay. All right. So North Texas and Oklahoma. Kyle, does North Texas have a shot in hell to take on Brett Venables and the Oklahoma Sooners?
So you think Oklahoma's going to be that 6th seed?
They'd be
wait,
5.
No.
They'd
I think
be 5.
You don't think 5 would be Oregon? Oregon's one loss.
We just did this. It's
Wait,
okay.
no. We're talking about the 4. I'm talking about the 5 now.
Okay.
The 5th
it's
best team. Oklahoma's not getting that bid, I don't think.
Okay.
I think Oklahoma's going to be 8. They're not going to be 5.
Okay.
5 is going to be Oregon.
Oregon or A&M. We'll put for the sake of the
I mean,
argument.
hold on. There's a one-loss SEC team that would get a better seeding than Oklahoma would.
For the sake of the argument, by the way, I did our top 12 right into the playoff, but I understand the point. So North Texas and Oregon, 9 and 8. Now we're on to 9 and 8.
All right. The 11 seed would be the ACC. Throw Virginia there.
Okay. So UVA.
Oh, they're 9 and 8. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the 11.
Okay. Well, let's do 11 and 8. UVA is the 11 on the road.
Second best seed is probably going to be Texas A&M. Do you agree with that?
Sadly, even though you went through their schedule, and I'm just so against them now. And now let's do 10 and 7.
All right, 10 and 7. This is where they're going to decide a better game. This is where, in my opinion, you got to put a little bit of a factor of who do you want at home versus who do you want on the road. Does Ole Miss get a home game in our playoff and how we're handling it? Do you punish them for Lane Kiffin?
I don't punish them.
I don't either.
I don't punish them. Do you think it's Bama and Ole Miss?
I think Oklahoma would get the 7.
Okay.
And I think Ole Miss would get the 8. That's what I think.
Okay. Let's put that in now. This is juicy right now. Once again, we are putting together our college football playoff bracket presented by our good friends at Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com.
All right, so BYU would be at Oklahoma. Would you agree with that? And then Alabama would play Ole Miss.
That's
who they didn't play all year.
That's the matchup.
Who they didn't play all year.
That's the matchup.
Yeah.
So once again, North Texas at Oregon, Bama at Ole Miss, Virginia at A&M, BYU at Oklahoma, and the teams that are getting the byes. So the winner of North Texas and Oregon would play Texas Tech. The winner of Bama and Ole Miss would play Ohio State. The winner of Virginia and A&M would play Georgia, and the winner of BYU and Oklahoma would play Indiana. See, that's why it's juicy, because once again, this was the problem game last year. 8 and 9 was the problem game last year with Ohio State and Tennessee.
Yeah, right.
And then they played in the Rose Bowl, Oregon. Ohio State played Oregon the game after. I'm fine with this. Personally, I like this a lot. I think this bracket is juicy. Now,
why is it good? You have no repeat matchups. You
Right.
have, Oregon versus a high-flying offense in North Texas. BYU, in my opinion, should get a bid at large. I think if you want to make the argument Notre Dame or Miami, get them both out. How about an 11-win Power 4? I seriously, I'm not sitting here.
And my only gripe is Miami. I think Miami should be at Oklahoma, and I think that would be a tremendously better game. But I get it. Listen, if you want to give some credit to the Big 12, I'm all for it. This is why we do the bowl games, to see which conferences comparatively year in and year out are better. Some guys aren't going to get into the big dance. I get that. But I think Miami, with the team that they have and the talent that they have, that's why I thought they should be at 12. But to Colin's credit, don't lose to SMU and don't lose to Louisville.
Miami's best chance, I'll say it now, Miami's best chance of getting in is if Duke beats Virginia and there's not an ACC representative. That is the only way, in my opinion, that the committee might get change their tune and make sure that there's some ACC representation in there. It might be best case scenario for the committee, because then they get the best ACC school in their eyes into the postseason, and they don't have to deal with Virginia or Duke. You can't imagine that they love.
Yep. But, folks, that was our bracket and Top 12 presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com for more information. My friend Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage will take care of all of your relocation services.
And the things that could change here, to put this into perspective, is obviously the 1 and 2. I'd actually make an argument if it was a halfway close game that that 2 is going to be Indiana. Maybe it's the SEC champion. Who knows? But that top 4 most likely. The only thing that could change is Texas Tech getting out or Bama getting in favor of Georgia, or Texas Tech losing, and then all of a sudden you're putting in an Oregon or something like that.
Yep.
And then outside of that, obviously, you need BYU, who in the committee's eyes is a winning in and not necessarily an at-large. UVA's got to beat Duke, and then Bama and Ole Miss both don't play. Bama plays, but Ole Miss does not play. A&M does not play. Oklahoma does not play. So from there, you're looking at a winning in.
We'll find more out, too, and how the committee exactly thinks, at least this week, coming up tonight on the Selection Show on ESPN.
Should be a good time. I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. We're live here at Roxy's, Top of the Rocks, Roxy's Pub, right down here on Clematis Street, where the Young Lawyers section of Palm Beach County Bar Association is doing a shave-off. Tonight they got a big stage. You got a pool right here. It's a tremendous vibe here on the 2nd of December. This is South Florida.
Yeah, it
if
is.
you want to look no further, we're set next to a pool, and we're at like a poolside couch. As good as it gets. We got some guests on a little later on into the program, do a little 5 at 5. Got a lot to do as we enter into a little bit of the second hour here. If you miss any of the show, miss any of the program, go listen back to Russo and Rizzo on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places, or watch us back on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Russo and Rizzo taking a time out on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Get ready for one of the biggest college football events of the year. It's the 12th annual Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, Tuesday, December 23rd at 2 p.m. at beautiful Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best Group of 5 teams battle it out in sunny South Florida. And just like Bush's Beans, the game is packed with real flavor and tradition. Over 150 players have gone from the field to the NFL. Who's going to be next? Grab your seats now by going to BocaRatonBowl.com. The Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Russo and Rizzo, live here from Top of the Rocks, Roxy's Pub down here in Clematis Street, downtown West Palm Beach, where we got a big event tonight. The No Shave November event presented by the Young Lawyers section of the Palm Beach County Bar Association. It's a month-long online giving campaign which has community leaders growing beards to raise awareness for men's cancers and funds to help men in Palm Beach County who are struggling with the financial hardship that treatment really does provide. Well, we're here at Top of the Rocks where tonight the awards ceremony and live shave-off is going to be going down in just about a little over an hour. So you're going to have a bunch of guys with big beards coming in, and we got the two guys who run the show here, Vinny Cuomo and Paul Shalhoub. Shalhoub?
Yeah, Shalhoub. You got
Shalhoub, got it right. And Paul, Vinny, welcome into the program. We know you guys had it last year, and welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so how many participants do we have this year, Paul?
We got 20 participants, the most we've ever had.
Most we've ever had, and 20 guys. Was the goal 20, or did that exceed the expectation?
It exceeded the expectation. We've been good with 15 to 18. We had 18 last year. The fact we got to 20, I was just really happy about.
Okay, I'm not a returning participant this year, and I regret to say that. But another thing, how much money have we raised?
We had just set a record about an hour ago, raised $109,900 plus and counting. You all can still go in and make your donations today.
How about that? Over $100,000 is absolutely incredible. And Vinny, we changed the scenery a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, last year we were down in PJ National, I believe, or up in PJ National, I should say. Now, hold on. Rooftop, top of the rocks, Roxy's Pub. You got a pool right here. It's December the 2nd. You got a stage. You got a full bar. I don't know if you could have chosen a better location to do an event like this.
It's an amazing location. If you come, you're going to love the location. It's completely open. It's outside. The weather's great.
First time I've been here, too, and I'm very impressed. I think this is a 25-plus place.
Yeah.
So, I have trouble there. I'm 23. But so thankfully, you two allowed me to sneak right in.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about this initiative. Vinny, when this started, and Vinny and Paul, when this started, what was sort of the brainchild behind it? And number two, how did you sort of build it to what it is today?
Sure. So 10 years ago, this is our 10th year.
Wow.
I got tired of, I'm a personal injury lawyer, I got tired of going to depots and seeing guys in November, my colleagues growing a beard, and I said, oh, hey, welcome to the club. And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, oh, you have your beard, your goatee, your mustache. And they're like, oh, no, I'm just being lazy. It's No Shave November. Or my firm lets me, grow facial hair this month and this month only. But they weren't doing anything about it. They weren't raising money, awareness, nothing. So I went to Young Lawyers section of the Palm Beach County Bar back then when I was a young lawyer, and I said, hey, I have an idea. Let's raise awareness for men's cancer health issues and raise money that stays right here locally to benefit men who are going through their cancer battles. And they jumped on it. So with the help of the Young Lawyers section, we put together the very first ever No Shave November event where I went and got only lawyers, high prominent profile lawyers in Palm Beach County. Back then, we only had 6 headliners in total, including myself. And I said, go out there, fellas, and raise as much money as you can. My goal was $5,000. We raised, I think it was $14,000, and we had to shave off at the corner of Dixie and Clematis. Outdoors, because we were going to Duffy's. And
they didn't want you to shave inside?
Exactly. So we're literally on the sidewalk of Clematis doing the live shave-off. And here we are today in one of the most beautiful outdoor venues in all downtown.
Did you ever expect it to get this big? Do you anticipate it to continue to get bigger?
I didn't. I didn't think we'd be this big. I didn't know what to do after year one. That was the first event I'd ever put on.
What do you do? How do you add to this? Right?
Yeah.
You got to just get more people involved, right?
And we did. The young lawyer section contacted me again to say, hey, what are you doing for your event? We got year 2. I said, whoa, we're doing a second year. Oh, I'm all for it. And so we did that. It was another success. Didn't raise as much. We got about $10,000. And then around year 3, I started bringing sponsors in. It was 3 or 4. I teamed up with Vinny here. And he has his networking events, and I have my event. We're holding the same place, same month. And we got to talking like, why are we not joining forces here? So he holds his networking event. They always have a charitable arm. And so my Cancer Alliance, if you will, No Shave November event fundraiser became the charitable arm to his organization's networking event, and it took off like a rocket.
And Vinny, when you got involved, did you anticipate this ever getting this big, or did this something that you saw the potential there? And hold on, we can make this something into a huge thing.
I definitely saw the potential. I even have ideas of what this thing can be even bigger each year.
Wow.
We got some ideas that down the road I think can really take this to the next level. But like he said, when my group joined in, it was like pouring gasoline on a fire. It just exploded. That's where we are, and I can't wait to see what the next 5 years is going to look like.
No Shave November today with the Young Lawyers section of the Palm Beach County Bar Association at Top of the Rocks, Roxy's Pub here in Clematis Street. Speaking of gasoline on a fire, the Miami Hurricanes are not making the postseason, yes or no?
They should, but they're not going to.
You agree with that, Paul?
I don't think they should, and I don't think they're going to.
We'll have this conversation right now.
All right, let's get this out of the way.
Okay, so I hear all the ESPN heads. Let's go through this really quick. Everything is about head-to-head wins. Initially, we've been talking about that for last year. That was the main focus. Now, suddenly this year, it's not so much about the head-to-head. Now I'm hearing that in order to manipulate what they want to do, it's about we have to pay attention to the losses. If that's the case, why is a 10-2 Alabama team sitting there who has a loss to FSU?
They probably have the worst loss of everybody.
Okay, and Miami beat FSU. So here's where I get to a point and I go, there's a couple teams we should be jumping over, specifically BYU. They played no one all year long. Miami is a college playoff team. They had some losses there. We've now corrected them. The last couple of weeks have really showed what we can do. We beat the Florida Gators.
We'll get to that.
Who's
in
sitting
a rough,
right next to
you
them.
think you're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
We'll get to Florida momentarily.
So I'm having a problem. I think it's just it's an easy access answer to, well, now we're not going to look at wins. We're going to look at losses. It's an easy way for CFP to just push Miami out. There's always a bias against Miami, whether you believe it or not. It's been there for a while, specifically with the NCAA. I also think there's some other leagues that do not like Miami.
What do you say to the people that say, all right, Miami, well, don't lose 2 games in conference to SMU and Louisville? Is that just like, all right, well, they still have the 10 wins. The 10 wins is kind of the benchmark that you're looking for?
My whole thing is I want to see who you've beaten, who you put on your schedule, and what type of play you've had. BYU, if I look at their actual schedule, who have they played?
Well, I mean, hold on. Give BYU a little credit. They did win 11 games. And, you know, the Big 12's not any good. Neither is the ACC. The ACC is not any good either. So you can't say both sides when BYU has beaten a lot of pretty good Big 12 teams, especially some on the road. You got to give them a little credit for that.
But a few of the teams that we beat, multiple, have been ranked, okay? Where BYU's wins, the majority of them have not.
And one thing I'll add to this is I'm a BYU defender. I got no dog in the fight. I'm a BYU defender. BYU is also not going to get in. You know, BYU is also not going to get in.
They're going to get knocked out by the ACC.
And they're getting
whoever's
screwed.
ACC championship. And let's go to Notre Dame. We played Notre Dame. We beat Notre Dame head-to-head. Okay? They'll go through, well, let's look who we both commonly played. There's 4 other teams that we played commonly.
Pitt, Syracuse.
Yep. And so they had one game that they
Syracuse
beat us by a significant amount. They just poured it on. All the other 3 games, we beat the opponent by a bigger margin. I don't understand it. I'm sitting here looking at it as a Hurricane fan. Obviously, I have emotions involved into it.
Yeah, of course.
But if you lay it out straight up, there's no reason Miami should not at least have an opportunity to be in the game.
I hear what you're saying. I do understand the argument for Miami. You know what, honestly, I think would be the best. I was just talking about this with Mike. The best case situation for both of them, let them both stay out and put in BYU. Is that crazy?
Here's the
Is that
crazy thing.
Would you be more upset or less upset if Notre Dame did not get in favor of BYU, and all of a sudden BYU's there, Miami, Notre Dame?
I still think Notre Dame and Miami are a better playoff team than BYU. But think about this. This is not going to happen, but imagine if it did. If Duke ended up beating Virginia.
That would be James Madison. They would not put Duke in the game. That means the ACC would not have a participant in the playoff.
And so now you have a couple conversations you can have. Ole Miss now no longer has their coach.
Are they going to punish them?
Are you going to pull them out?
You'll find that out tonight.
You did that with FSU.
You'll find that out tonight.
Yeah, I know. And so there's some opportunities, but I know the bias is there.
You're thinking about this season, Paul. You're thinking about next season because now Billy Napier out as the Florida head coach. You're a Gator guy yourself. They got John Summerall, the Tulane guy, in there.
Yeah.
And Tulane has got a big game this weekend, which is a little strange because he's there doing the Gator chomp off the private plane, and then he's back doing Tulane press conferences about 2 hours later. State of the Union a little bit with the Florida Gators. Do you like where they're heading with that young head coach from Tulane?
You know, after watching his press conference.
You watched the whole press conference.
Yeah, it made me feel pretty good about
the hire. He eats football for breakfast. He's one of those guys, you know?
That's what I liked about it. You didn't get that vibe with Billy or many of the other ones before him, but that made me feel better. But ultimately, we should have gotten Kiffin. And the fact that they completely botched that. Strickland botched that entire process.
The AD
is just mind-boggling to me. How you have the number 1 contender. You know who you need to go get. He's doing it at Ole Miss. He's going to crush it at Florida. And you let him go over a personality dispute because you just couldn't get out of your own way when, in fact, he hasn't hired an excellent football coach in his entire tenure, and he's writing an extension. So, yeah, I'm confident.
You thought Lane was going to be too much of a little bit of a power dynamic would be the challenged in the Florida Gators. Kiffin it would be Lane Kiffin's show and not the Scott Strickland show. It's sort of along the lines of that.
That's what it should have been, but it seems
been.
like Scott's ego got in the way.
the head coaches are the CEO of the entire program. So that's one thing you'll say.
I think you have a bigger issue that you didn't take Lane last year.
Very true.
Because you had a bigger opportunity to get him last year. There wasn't as much opponents trying to go after him at that moment.
And one thing, you're spending less money. That Tulane, John Summerall's contract is $7.5 million for 6 years. Lane is making $13 million for 6 years.
Yeah.
It's like half.
It's a little over half.
Yeah.
And that's he's getting hours on the private jet. He's got the memberships. He's got this. He's got that. He's got $30 million towards the roster. That's quite a significant investment. Might have been a tougher swing. LSU can do that because LSU's had 4 head coaches in 20 years. Yeah. Where comparatively to Florida, who is still trying to find just somebody who knows how to steer the boat. And it would be a tougher financial investment, in my opinion, probably to sell. Am I wrong there?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
But you got to swing for the fences, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that to me, I would have just given that man the biggest bag, whatever it would have taken. Because he could have easily been the future for a couple of decades if we wanted him to, if we were able to get him. And he'll probably end up doing that at LSU.
That's Paul Shalab and Vinny Como joining us now, who are heads of the No Shave November group with the Young Lawyers section of the Palm Beach County Bar Association. It's tonight. Guys are going to start showing up here in about 20-something minutes, and the shave is going to be at what time?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. The beards are coming off. You never have a beard, Vinny.
Next year.
Next year? Is that the big announcement? You could have done it for the 10-year anniversary.
I let my brother do it.
Paul's always got the beard. He's always got the beard. But I appreciate you two jumping on. This is such an amazing event. I love the additions that you guys continue to keep doing with this. The stage is as good as it gets. That's going to be an awesome scene once this actually goes down. And I'm looking forward to this next year.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your support.
And Vinny and Paul, 20 participants, over $100,000 raised for the No Shave November. We'll get into the 5 o'clock hour of Russo and Rizzo, do a little 5 and 5 on the other side of things. Colin Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Anna Joran Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com. pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Every family has dreams, a vacation, a new car, or a rainy day fund. With a Boost savings account from Flagler Credit Union, your dreams can become reality. Earn up to 3.0 annual percentage yield with no minimum balance, no monthly fees, and easy access to your funds. Whether you're saving for life's big moments or everyday expenses, a Boost savings account helps you reach your goals faster. Open a Boost savings account today and start boosting your future at Flagler Credit Union. Boost checking is required. Other qualifications apply. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
On the job, every minute counts. That's why Lowe's now has ProBlock Quick Dry Primer, expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast and go on smooth for virtually flawless results that keep your job moving. It's available in oil and water-based, and getting it is easy. Order online by 2 p.m. and get free same-day delivery right to your job site. Lowe's, we help, you save. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms apply.
Pig Beach Barbecue on 2400 South Dixie Highway is ready for football season. With the best video walls, big screen TVs, and audio system in South Florida, it's the best place to watch all the games. Enjoy all their incredible barbecue, burgers, signature sandwiches, beers, and cocktails as you cheer on your favorite team. And with the NFL Sunday Ticket, you can be sure they will always have on the game you want to see. Let's kick off this football season right at Pig Beach Barbecue on 2400 South Dixie Highway.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Download the ESPN South Florida app today and get the latest on local shows like Theoretically Speaking and Russo and Rizzo. Get some ESPN podcasts or get the high school sports updates in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. Curious about what Mike Rizzo had to say about Aaron Rodgers? It's on the app. Wasn't able to find the score of the West Boca High School football game? It's on the app. Want to catch the Inter Miami live broadcast? You guessed it. It's on the app. Go download the ESPN South Florida app today and get your fix on all things sports right here in Palm Beach County.
Snowbirds, welcome back. Time to trade your coats and hats for swim trunks and sunscreen. And get your home ready for company. Before the family arrives, make sure your home's water is in top shape. Hard water and hidden minerals can leave spots on dishes, dull your laundry, and dry out your skin. Not exactly festive. Schedule your free water test today before the holiday rush. Culligan will make sure your water is as clear and welcoming as that ocean view. Visit Culligan.com or just say,
Hey, Culligan
ESPN 1063 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 1063. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMITTED.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Call into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Big thanks to Vinny Cuomo and Paul Shalhoub, who joined us, who are doing the No Shave November today with the Young Lawyers section of the Palm Beach County Bar Association, happening at 6 p.m. at Top of the Rocks, Roxy's Pub here in downtown West Palm Beach on Clematis. It's Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo back alongside me. Having a great time. If you missed any of that first hour, go listen back on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. You had Monday Night Football last night, a pretty uncompetitive matchup. Boy, did the Patriots blitz the Giants. We haven't even talked about that yet. But Jackson Dart getting laid out off his feet, and major concussion. It was a dirty game in terms of a lot of hard hits. It was old school football throughout that, but the Patriots go into the bye basically with the best resume you could possibly ask for in terms of win-loss record. But when the new games come up this weekend in terms of conference championships, there's a great Thursday night game. You can bet all this on the Hard Rock Bet app.
And folks, let's not forget about Inter Miami playing for an MLS Cup coming up on Saturday. That's going to be at 2:30 Chase Stadium in beautiful Fort Lauderdale. I'll maybe looking at those lines. Colin mentioned all the conference championship games coming up. The Buckeyes and Indiana, 1 versus 2. You got the SEC matchup. You got all those fun Conference USA bowl games, the Group of 5 bowl games that actually have implications on the college football playoff. And then tonight, if you open up your Hard Rock app, folks, go to that college basketball side. I know Colin is going to have some takes on that coming up later on in the show. I think you got Kentucky, and Kentucky's in a big game tonight on the college basketball side, too.
UConn's at Kansas, and they're down. Both teams are down their best player.
No better time to download the Hard Rock Bet app. You got college basketball. You got NFL football, conference championship weekend.
Duke, Florida tonight.
Inter Miami in the MLS Cup. Do I need to continue? Take a look at all their great promotions as well. The 100, where you get boosted odds, folks. If you download the Hard Rock Bet app and you take a look at the 100, it's boosted odds on plays. And once 100 people take that, you move on to the next one. And all the snowbirds out here who are new to Hard Rock Bet, all right? Deposit $5, bet $5 on a game. If you win, you'll get $150 instantly in bonus bets. That is Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you're concerned about gambling, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. That's 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You also got Michigan State, Iowa tonight, too, on Peacock.
The hell does Kentucky
PM.
play? I put that
Kentucky
put that on a platter for you.
UCL, no, they play North Carolina tonight.
Yeah, it's a huge game. That's
big game.
Listen, Pope hasn't won a big game all year. They're about to run that guy out of Lexington.
I haven't watched a ton of North Carolina. I only watched the Kansas game, so I'm excited to see that team. It's good college hoops tonight. I'll be into it. On top of that, we got Christian Cat back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Christian, welcome in. How are you today?
I almost called into my college radio station. That's where I'm at right now. It's a Penn State football.
Is this after or before they were going after Kalani Sitake?
This is after they swung and a miss. So essentially what Penn State did
That was 10 minutes ago. Did you just try to call in the commercial break?
Yeah, I was on the toilet and they didn't pick up the phone.
You were calling another radio station while was it while I was doing the interview?
No, it was in the 5-minute break. I tried to make a phone call and talk to those schlubs at the line 90.7 FM.
They didn't put you through? They didn't put
No.
you through?
I don't think they saw the
Did the producer shut you down? How did that feel on the other side?
They didn't pick up the phone. I don't
they
think
didn't
they
even
saw
pick
the
up the phone.
phone.
They're not even taking callers today? Penn State local radio is not even taking callers?
Yeah, they teach weird things on that radio station where we should touch all of the sports. They're probably breaking down how the NHL playoff picture is taking form here early in the season.
Chris, I'm going to be honest. I don't think the Penn State radio station right now is breaking down the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think they're doing Penn State coaching search.
Be surprised. They teach weird things over there, incorrect things sometimes. But yeah, I am losing hair. I'm losing the will to live. I'm losing interest in the Penn State football program with how poor they are treating the head coaching search. I think they should maybe just pick things back up next year. And when I say that, I don't just mean roll with the interim. I think that they should cancel this year's schedule and then just restart things in 2026.
Just for the sake of hypothetical, just to get a feel
well, that's
of how
not
you
happening.
Feel. Just to get a feel of where you're at mentally. If James Franklin picked up the phone and called you guys at 2 a.m. In a cold sweat thinking, I want to come back. I want to be can you accept me back? Do you accept him back?
Dude, I would roll over, pet my belly. I would accept him back. It's insane.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
no,
I would.
you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
I wouldn't do that.
It would be embarrassing, but that is where we're at right now. It can't be more embarrassing than it is right now. I liked firing James Franklin when the possibilities were endless on who we could replace him with. Now the possibilities are very limited and very bad. So I would take the lesser of two evils, go back to James Franklin, get all the guys he poached from Penn State back in Penn State uniforms, and yeah, it'd be awful. I would hate it, but I don't hate it more than this.
Christian, how did we get here? From a Penn State fan's perspective, how did we get here?
Misjudging the national perspective of Penn State football. I think that might be it.
Getting boxed out by the Church of Latter-day Saints has got to be a first, I feel like, right?
But you know
they got money, Cal. Those Mormons have money out there in
you
Utah.
Believe me, I know.
But even
New
like
Canaan, Connecticut, a huge Mormon church. Continue.
If they did hire BYU's head coach, okay, that's nice. We avoided that one level of embarrassment. But me and Mike talked about it. It ain't a great fit. Like
No.
I can't.
I actually agree with that too. Yeah.
Never made sense to hire that
He's
man.
been in Utah for 20 years.
He's a West Coast guy, and listen, we can sit here and say if Utah is West Coast.
He was Southern Utah, University of Utah, and then now BYU.
You're hiring a Utah man for a Northeast program. That made no sense to me whatsoever.
And now I'm looking back at myself and the opinions that I had on the search 2 months ago, where I would turn my nose up at Matt Rule. Yeah, I'd be first in line for Nebraska's Matt Rule right now when the other option is, well, nothing. There is no other option right now. It is incredibly embarrassing.
They stink, too, by the way. Nebraska, I mean, Matt Rule, it was funny because angry Nebraska fans, Christian, I was on Instagram and I saw Rule talking because they got smoked. They got smoked in their final game of the season versus Iowa. And now the rumors is that Dylan Raiola might transfer. But I mean, the Nebraska fans were trolling, saying, "Oh, year 3 is the year Matt Rule wins everywhere except for Nebraska." So, I don't even think you want that guy. You take the year off. Christian, you might be onto something. Colin, can we cancel Penn State football next year?
I don't think that's the right move, but I actually now this is the time you got to take a flyer on an up-and-coming coordinator.
Heartline.
That's the only idea.
I don't want to give him up.
Fine. You want to get a guy at a mid-tier program? I could listen to that, especially if he's a young you don't get anybody over 50 years old.
So
anybody.
With all the bad news that I have been dealing with right now, I finally can share some good news. Can I share some good news?
Please do.
Well, Kaiser's got a home playoff game on Saturday. It's at 1 o'clock in West Palm Beach. The number 2 ranked NAIA program in the nation. That's our Kaiser Seahawks. They are in the NAIA FCS quarterfinals, 1 o'clock, a home game. They take on number 6 Marion. They're coming down from Indiana to take on our Seahawks. Kaiser's trying to go back to the NAIA National Championship game for the 4th consecutive year, and their goal is not just to get back to that game. They're trying to win their 2nd Red Banner as a program. That's a program that's under a decade old, but they are breeding champions here in West Palm Beach, Florida. 26 national championships as an athletic department. They're trying to raise that number in this fall semester. So once again, I will see you there in West Palm Beach, myself and Jimmy Bell on the call of ESPN 106.3, Kaiser versus Marion. The winner goes to the Final Four in the FCS NAIA playoffs. Be there or be square as we defend the beach.
Well, Penn State is sort of looking around thinking, oh, boy, who do we go get? Who do we go get? Do you go get Brent Key from Georgia Tech?
He ain't leaving.
I mean, I think he'd accept it now, right? No?
I don't think he'd leave.
Right?
Wait,
Christian, do you want Brent Key?
JMU.
Christian, you want Brent Key?
Is you should have went and got the JMU guy.
Oh, yeah, we're trying right now. That is happening as we speak.
Hold on. He's going to
hang
UCLA,
on. According
right?
to who? The Dirty Sheets?
Hey,
He's going to UCLA, right?
I'll believe it when he lands.
Christian, I think the Dirty Sheets need to go light on fire after the misinformation that has been spread.
Yeah, they don't know anything. But
they don't know anything.
They shouldn't have let that JMU guy. First one was Signetti. You can't get the second guy. You got to think lightning strikes twice. You should have went after the JMU guy. I don't know.
So
a tough spot.
You said, would Brent Key take that job? No, I think that's like what Brent Key at Georgia Tech. That's like he loves the Georgia Tech job. I don't think he's going to leave.
It's a safe job. I don't know.
No, I think.
Would you go get somebody from the NFL? Would you get Brian Dable?
I laughed at the Brian Dable option last week,
and
now I'm going to accept it.
He's an NFL guy now, though, right?
He could do it. He could do it.
No, he doesn't want to go to college and deal with NIL. Christian, am I wrong on that?
He could do it.
You know, I've never been in the living room with Brian Dable. I've never sat down and talked to him about the college perspective. But hey, he was he was at the Penn State Frats when he got hired from from the Giants.
Fair enough.
Wearing the Penn State hoodie, his kid goes there. All right, I'll sign up for Brian Daboll. Who the hell cares anymore? It's all meaningless. We're all going to die anyway.
Christian, I feel it, man.
What about Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator from the terrible Atlanta Falcons?
I didn't even know who that guy was.
I heard he wanted a college gig. People thought he was going to go to college. But, I mean, that guy, I just went through his career. He has no college experience whatsoever.
You want Brent Key?
No.
I don't either. I wouldn't either. That's Colin's guy. Colin loved Georgia Tech this year. They stink.
They lost 3 of their last 4 games. I mean, geez, they 8-0, and then they finished 9-3. That's as bad as it gets. Whatever. On the other side of things, we will do a little 5-5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. Stick around. It's Russo Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar & Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar & Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and I'm dropping the gloves. Your new home for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers is ESPN 106.3. Tonight, the Panthers host the Maple Leafs in a heavyweight hockey clash. Coverage starts at 7 right here on ESPN 106.3.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Give it up for Chicago.
Sebastian Maniscalco's new stand-up special, It Ain't Right, is now streaming on Hulu.
30 years ago, Jeff Bezos, complete nerd. Bezos now ripped to shreds on his super yacht, and the boxes keep coming.
Watch Sebastian Maniscalco, It Ain't Right, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
In sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you expect from HSS, the world's #1 in orthopedic care. With 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better.
During football season, keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8-star rating, EDS is the trusted MVP since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today, kick off your game day comfort, and don't sweat the small stuff.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Download the ESPN South Florida app today where you can listen to Russo and Rizzo, listen to Theoretically Speaking 2 to 4 weekdays, listen to our extensive high school coverage on Friday nights throughout the year, and listen to Florida Panthers on their quest for a three-peat. You can listen to all that in one spot, including the Inter Miami on their quest for an MLS Cup this Saturday. Listen to all one spot, the ESPN South Florida app. Download for free on the App Store and get all your beats for South Florida sports in one spot. Let's have a little fun. Let's bounce around. Let's do a little 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Let's stay with the college football side of things to begin the 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. Lane Kiffin had his introductory press conference yesterday, and he said he aims to make LSU the best program in college football, and he called the LSU head coaching job the best job in football. In these next 5 years, What will Lane Kiffin and LSU have to do in order to call this job move a success?
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to win a title, right? Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, every single one of the previous coaches outside of Brian Kelly won titles, so that's going to be a big deal on whether he could do that. On top of that, do you believe a word he says?
I don't, and it's funny you say that.
And he's saving face because he sent his offensive coordinator back to Ole Miss thinking, oh, boy, these guys need him. And I'm surprised Ole Miss took him back, but nonetheless.
So Colin and I had some time before the show, and we listened to a clip from Lane Kiffin talking, and that was Colin's first reaction. I totally agreed. No, I can't believe anything he says. I will say this, Christian. You asked what would consider successful in 5 years. Yes, it's win a championship. But I think the first step is to get to the college football playoff. Dare I say it's important next year that Lane gets to the playoff. I really do. I know it's year one, but this is an LSU team that is promising Lane to spend $30 million on the roster. And that was a big thing Lane was focusing on during his interview. His introduction interview was, listen, I don't care. He said it for so many words. He said, it doesn't matter to me what I'm making. I haven't even looked at it yet. What I care about is what we're going to give these kids here at LSU and how much we're putting into the roster. Christian, I think it's must-win immediately for Lane Kiffin there. And to answer your question, it's got to be a national championship.
Is that before or after he signed his $13 million
I
a
just
year
like,
contract?
but forgive me for thinking, and listen, I don't wish ill will on Lane, believe it or not. Was it a scummy move? What he did, fine. But, I'm not wishing ill will. Forgive me for thinking, though, that this is going to blow up similar to the Brian Kelly situation. And I know I was a broken record with this yesterday, but I got to say it again today, all right? The Brian Kelly thing was scummy the last time. LSU now went full-on scummy with the Lane Kiffin thing to an SEC rival. I'll end with that.
Number two.
Well, we are relitigating last year's NFL draft earlier today on Theoretically Speaking, taking a look at the 2024 quarterbacks that came out of that draft. At the time, it looked like the most plentiful quarterback draft of all time. And we're taking a look at it, and a lot of those guys are doing pretty well right now. Specifically, one out of the AFC last night, Drake May getting a win, putting the Patriots as a 1 seed in the AFC. And then on Black Friday, we saw Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears get the number 1 seed in the NFC, beating the defending Super Bowl champions. If you could be in one position between the Patriots and the Bears for the next 10 years, which side would you rather be?
I think I'd rather be the Bears. Why? Because I like the coach more. I like Vrabel. I really like Ben Johnson. They are drinking, and they didn't. People had questions of whether they were drinking his Kool-Aid in the early in the season. You think they are now? And I saw the chant he does, best, better, best, or whatever he does. He says it in the locker room. He took his shirt off and started screaming and yelling, and all the players were eating it up. They didn't buy it initially, but now they buy it. I can't believe I'm saying that because I think May's a better player than Williams is, but I think Johnson's a better coach than Vrabel is.
I go with the Patriots because they're the better organization. And I'm sorry to all my Peoria boys that are listening, but that's why I'll do it. All right, as a Brown fan, we're a miserable organization. Bad football owners. The Haslams are good business people, bad football owners. And I think that's the same thing with the McCaskies and the Bears. Now, you know my soft spot for the Bears. I hope they found their guy, Ben Johnson. And I did want to say, remember what Ben Johnson said in his introductory press conference, that the days of Green Bay walloping Chicago are over, and he has a chance to do that late in the year.
Huge game.
Don't they play each other twice? They haven't played each other.
They play on Sunday.
And they haven't played each other yet.
Yeah.
So
425.
Ben Johnson.
That's a huge game.
Ben Johnson's going to have 2 goes at Green Bay, and it might just be for the division. I'm rooting for the Bears, Christian, but to answer your question, the Patriots because of the organization.
Number 3.
On the flip side of last night's Monday Night Football, let's put it honestly, a stinker. The Giants took another loss in that game, falling to 2-11 on the season. But back in Giants blue was Jackson Dart. And here's what he had to say about taking more hard hits when he could simply go down.
I understand the question, but this is football. I'm gonna get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. I feel like I've played this way my whole entire life. This shouldn't be any shocker to anybody if you've followed along with my career. And we're not playing soccer out here. Like, you're gonna get hit. Things happen. It's part of the game.
We're not playing soccer, Mike.
I like that.
Talking directly to Rizzo.
By the way, he's talking to me. By the way, world football. Jackson, do not say soccer when you leave the country because they're going to yell at you. It's football, and you call it world football here at the States. Kyle, what'd you think of this?
Famous last words? Is that fair to say?
I really hope that it's
if I'm
not,
the general, are you stoked if you're the general manager? Oh, yeah, hard football guy, please. Stop. He got laid out by a safety. You know, he flipped in midair. You're going to get hit. You're going to get sacked regardless. You don't have to run 22 miles an hour down the sideline.
What do you
and
do?
get hit by a missile.
All right, fine. I agree with you. Every word you said. What do you do? If you're the Giants, what do you do? That's the question.
You take him to
the hell do you do?
You take him to quarterback how to not get hit school.
Well, brother, it just said right there he's not changing. So what do you do?
Have him bunk in with Brady for 2 straight months and see what happens.
You draft a quarterback, Christian?
No, you don't draft a quarterback. No.
Christian, do you draft a quarterback?
No,
you've got the answer at quarterback right in your building. No way.
Well, what happens when he can't play in 2 years because he's got 60 concussions?
Well, I mean, yeah, Troy Aikman, of all people, saying he's got to take care of himself. And Troy Aikman, mind you, who's somebody who had, and this is before concussions were a big deal.
Different time.
Before they were a big deal. He had 7 or 8 concussions, and that's what ended his career. So that's somebody telling you, and Aikman is still sharp, thank God, but he had a lot of concussions throughout his career. Bad ones, too. San Francisco, oh, my gosh. In the NFC Championship game in 94, oh, it's terrible. So if I'm Dart, I'm sitting here thinking, dude, we're not asking you to do much. We're asking you to slide. We're not asking you to.
Dude, that hit was crazy. I laughed. And Christian, it's not a laughing matter. I couldn't help but to laugh.
That's an old school football hit.
I mean,
an old school football
hit. And I mean, clean hit. Like, I understand why the Giants.
As good of a
that
clean
was
hit
a
as you've
clean
seen
hit.
in years. Yeah.
Like, if and I thought Elias, I apologies, I can't remember the last name of the gentleman that hit him. Regardless, he handled it pretty well too. He was kind of like, hey, listen, like, hands up. Yeah, what do you want me to do? I'm worried. If I'm a Giant fan, I'm worried. A kid like that, I don't know if do you get through to him? Like, can you get through to him on the style of play?
You need a reporter telling him that is going to be different when Brady and Manning are at his doorstep and Eli are thinking, hey, you know what really is toughness is about if you're a professional player? It's about playing every single week. Eli was tough, not because Eli went headfirst at the linebacker, but because Eli could start for 180 games in a row. But that's why Eli was
different
great.
Players, though, right?
Different players.
Completely different style of play.
Eli's a tough player. Everybody knows
he's going
Eli's
full
a tough
Josh
player.
Allen. But Jackson Dart has to realize he's at 6'4", 250 like Josh Allen.
Not going to happen. Famous last words. Be careful, dude. Come on. I remember the first game of Anthony Richardson's career. He came in against Jacksonville, and he was diving headfirst at the linebackers left and right. This kid was a freak athlete. And I remember Trevor Lawrence, who has no hill to stand on whatsoever. No hill to stand on. Trevor Lawrence told him, dude, protect yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get hurt. And what happened 5 games later? He was out for the year.
Favorite thing that you said today for me. He flipped. He flipped, literally.
He went feet in the sky. His feet were in the sky.
Like, holy cow, it's one of those hits where you laugh at it. I'm sorry.
That's number 3.
4? You never know the number.
We've got more college football playoff rankings to be unveiled tonight. Head coach of the Miami Hurricanes down the road, Mario Cristobal, made his case as to why he believes the Miami Hurricanes should, get more respect.
Right now, every metric imaginable, we're a top 10 team, and in some instances 7, 6, 5, 4. So we have done what we are supposed to do. And on top of that, at the end, when it comes down to things that are being compared, you always wish that you had a head-to-head to evaluate. And in this case, we do, which we certainly feel strongly about. And hopefully that's something that's viewed very strongly and very carefully, very meticulously as decisions are made.
Yes, that was Miami Hurricanes head coach Mario Cristobal, who is scheduled to appear on tomorrow's Theoretically Speaking, saying the Hurricanes really should be in the playoffs. What say you, Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo?
I know Mike's on page with this. I'm not. I'm not. Put in BYU. I want Church of Latter-day Saints filling up the stands in that first round of the playoffs. That's what I want.
I think Miami, Christian, one of the best rosters. The problem, I think they should be in. They have the head-to-head with Notre Dame. I think they should be the last, at large. Couldn't think of the word. Bid. But do you want to know the issue? That Mario Cristobal, what we just heard there, when you're mentioning metrics and you open the press conference with that, you're in a whole lot of trouble.
Neutral field
You're
right
in
now.
a whole lot of trouble.
Is Miami favored against Notre Dame?
I think so.
I don't think they would.
I think they would.
I think that would be Notre Dame minus 3.5.
I think they would be. I think one thing Vegas respects, and
neutral field.
And listen, the one thing Vegas respects is talent. And I saw that with Ohio State.
One thing I
saw that, and hear me out on this. When Ohio State lost to Michigan last year, and I said, oh, their odds got to be terrible to win the national championship. Dude, they were still second behind Georgia.
Miami got thoroughly outplayed by Notre Dame in that first game of the year. It was in Miami, and Miami was probably playing some of their best football at the beginning of the season. You got to take that into consideration. I think Notre Dame would be
Christian, I think they should be in, but if you're Mario and you're mentioning metrics, that's how you know you're in trouble.
I think it's all got to do with having a preseason AP poll and how we expect these teams to play. Like, if Miami was ranked before we saw a snap of football above Notre Dame, and then they beat Notre Dame, and then they beat Florida, and then they beat FSU, and they beat
Miami
USF.
was 2 in the country, were they not? They were 2 in the country.
If you start, yes. I'm talking about Notre Dame themselves. Didn't fall as far as they probably could have if they didn't start as high as they did. That's what I'm saying, the problem with a preseason poll. That Notre Dame was number 6 in the country before a game was played. So we're just taking their word on it that Notre Dame's good because of last year's. That's why.
I think the reason they're thinking Notre Dame is good is because Notre Dame's won 10 games in a row, and Miami has lost more recently and more bad recent losses than Notre Dame. I think that's fair. And that's why Miami would drop in that selection. Notre Dame has given you no reason to continue dropping. They're going to continue. The thing about them, you're right. Their strength of schedule is not that great.
Notre Dame loses to the good teams they play, and they beat the bad teams they play.
Are you talking about Miami here?
Notre Dame, he said. USC, they lost their top 2 matchups.
Right,
they
the
were
first 2 games of the year, but then they won 10
games.
They no, but they've given you no reason to move downward. Miami has lost twice in that period, so I understand. But they lost twice. Here's my point of view. Do you both hate the ACC, yes or no?
I can't stand it.
You can't stand it.
Outside of Miami.
Now, can you
Is that
stand
fair? Hang on. Is that fair, though?
What if you lose 2 games in the ACC? You're going to respect that?
My issue is...
That's the point.
Here's my issue. Duke lost 2 games in the ACC, and they're in the ACC championship.
And they lost 5 games
Miami.
Don't make that argument because nobody's in favor of that.
But Miami lost 2 games in the conference, and they're not in the ACC championship. How the hell is Duke in the ACC championship over Miami?
Another thing, which is why the ACC is full of phonies. You should see the PR campaign that they're putting on, like the ACC Network and the ACC. They're just showing the Notre Dame-Miami game. They're talking about how head-to-head this, head-to-head that. Well, if you had 4 teams that were 6-2 in the ACC and Duke lost to every single one of them, I can't listen to the fact that we're big on head-to-head when Duke is playing in your conference championship game. Cannot listen to that.
I just
that's a load of it.
Like Miami has 2 losses, Duke has 2 losses, Miami has the better record, but somehow Duke's in that game. The hell are we doing?
There's a 4-team tie.
What the hell are we doing?
Duke has more conference losses. If you have a problem, you want to talk about the head-to-head, that's what the ACC are a bunch of phonies. Can't listen to that.
Number 5.
Did you hear about this going down in New Jersey? The home of Eagles offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo was vandalized with eggs early Saturday morning, according to the Morristown Police Department. Of course, that incident occurred after the Eagles lost to the Bears at home 24-15. You saw countless images on Amazon Prime, for free, by the way, of fans wearing Phillies gear, so sad, so disappointed, and then chanting, "Fire Kevin." Have you guys ever egged a house in your day?
I have, Christian. Kelly Lynch.
Whoa. Take it easy.
No, she doesn't care.
Oh, she doesn't care.
She doesn't care.
She's happy about it?
No, but we did it. My brother's senior year, I was a freshman, and Matt Shonut at the time, they were dating, and they broke up. And I'm still good friends with Kelly this day, and we egged her house. TP'd it the whole thing.
Why are you so proud of this?
Because it was fun.
What'd she say?
She laughed about it.
Oh, did she?
Mr. Lynch was a good sport about it. Wicked family.
Good sport.
They were a wicked
wait,
family.
Mike.
Good Irish Catholic family up in Cleveland.
Mike, I'm sorry. Can you quickly say that story again? Who was the relation here?
So Shoney, my brother's best friend and my friend, all right, they were seniors in high school, and we were freshmen. And it was before their senior skip day, whatever, their last day of high school. And they TP'd and egged Kelly Lynch's house because she broke up with Matt. It was fun. It was wicked.
The
couple
eggs
of
were-
blunts on the way. It was fun.
The eggs always came out on Halloween in my neighborhood. I never
we were
partook in the
degenerate.
eggs. I would always see the egg yolk just all over the compadres up and down Surrey Meadows. I never had the guts. I had the fear of
hang
God.
on, boys.
I don't think I ever
do that.
did either.
Boys,
I don't think I ever
the
did
eggs,
either.
but you got to realize the TP came first because the eggs, you hear the eggs on the house. So you
Oh, I
TP
see.
first, and then you do the eggs.
The eggs
think
are
I
the
ever did.
Exactly
finishing
what you
touch.
do.
I see.
I don't think I ever did. Good for not good for the Eagle fan. But the Eagle fan, the one thing about them is they know their sports. You talk to Eagle fans, they know what they're talking about. And they don't like how the offense is playing right now. It's all right. What better way to incentivize it? If we want to make ourselves the boos, they boo every 5 seconds at Lincoln Financial. The way to feel it, go to. All right, I'm not encouraging anything.
Go for the Eagles fans. They know where their OC lives.
One thing I'll say, Kevin Patullo, he heard your voices, Eagle fans. He heard your voices. I'm not encouraging anything. I don't think that was the right thing to do. But you made your opinion felt.
So what do you think Kevin Patullo is going to do differently now that his house got egged? Hire around-the-clock security? I don't think it's going to change
Maybe
how he
call a
game
better
plans.
football game. Maybe call a better football game.
Oh, it's that
Christian.
easy.
Yeah.
Now
Maybe call a
listen.
better football game.
Now listen. All right, I wasn't one of the fans, but apparently after the game last year, Ryan Day had to get security. It was ridiculous, and I damned it all to hell. All right, so it's rich coming from an Ohio State fan. All right, but at the same time, ridiculous. Philly fan, chill out. All right, chill the hell out. You're 8-4. You won a Super Bowl last year. Do you remember the days when you were irrelevant with garbage quarterback play and the little brother to the Giants and the Cowboys? How far Eagle fan has fallen. That's why I can't do Philly fan. I cannot stand Philly.
It's a good franchise. You can't.
Fine, the fans are horrible. Those people are terrible. They're terrible. And Colin, I know. Listen, you're kind of from the north. You're from the northeastern area.
I don't like
They're
the Philly
terrible.
fan either. I
Those
don't like the
people
Philly fan
are
either.
awful.
I like the Phillies.
They are awful. Awful people.
Citizens Bank Park's a nice spot to go to a game.
You're 8-4. You won a Super Bowl last year. What are we doing?
Would you make the argument that they have higher expectations?
I don't care.
That was a terrible loss to the Bears. You got to say that. Mike, I'm team pro Eagles 2 weeks ago. You said the same thing. They beat everybody.
You're 8-4 and you're
That was a
about to
really
host
bad
a
loss.
playoff game.
That was a really bad loss.
Dude, but like,
that was a really bad loss.
where, like, all right, Eagle fans are now high and mighty? Like, come on. I don't know. Remember 10 years ago how awful it was?
They're trying to turn the blind eye to the clear offensive woes.
They're weird. It's a weird batch.
They're not running the ball like they used to. They're not throwing the ball like they used to. The offensive line is not good as it used to.
They're a weird
They're worried.
bunch.
They're worried.
They're a weird bunch.
They're worried.
Yeah.
That was our 5-5.
It's weird to react as they might do. It's not weird. On your way home tonight, on your way to work tomorrow, on your way to your holiday plans or to your football playoff games in the high school realm, to stop at Racetrack. That's your one-stop shop for your football Friday nights. They have a style of convenience. It's perfect. It is whatever gets you going. 'Cause they've got it all. They've got your gas that you need, but that's just at the surface level. That's the tip of the iceberg at Racetrack, because the rest of the iceberg's inside. It's incredible. They have a new breakfast meal deal for just $4. You get a breakfast sandwich, you get a small coffee, and you get a hash brown. That's for $4. That's what Racetrack is bringing to the table. Make sure you stop at your local Racetrack for breakfast for that incredible deal, and download the Racetrack Rewards app to see what else they have going on. I love my frozen Hawaiian Punch. I've been well documented on the record. That's my go-to frozen treat, whether it's hydration or just to have a sweet treat. I get that frozen Hawaiian Punch. I get a medium, and I scan my Racetrack Rewards where I put my phone number in. It's only $1. I like Racetrack. They support our local high school football communities. Stop at Racetrack all year long.
Well, we'll close out the program next live at Top of the Rocks, Roxy's Pub in Clematis Street. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Touchdown! Racetrack is proud to support our local high school football teams. Whether it's Friday night lights or tailgate parties, Racetrack has whatever gets you going to fuel all the gridiron excitement this fall. Grab your favorite snacks, crispy chips, delicious Nathan's hot dogs, sweet treats, or our house-made pizza slices. Don't forget to quench your thirst with a variety of ice-cold drinks. Racetrack, your one-stop shop to fuel your football Fridays.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo with you live at the Top of the Rocks, Roxy's Pub here at Clematis Street, where you got No Shave November. You got the barber chairs up on the stage. Going to be a great time. But first, if you're driving down here, you're getting a little fender bender, you don't know who to call, you got to call Anajar and Levine. Because you've been to car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, the type that fight for you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Why settle for just any attorney? Demand the best. Demand Anajar and Levine today, because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. Take that one phone call and take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for the free consultation. Now, call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control with Anajar and Levine. Never seen you grow your beard, not even a little bit.
No, I'm not beard guy. At a young age, my grandfather set the precedent for us that the Rizzo boys do not do facial hair. My dad never had a beard.
Never once. Never even stubble.
Great-grandfather, head of the barbershop union in San Jose, California. My grandfather cut hair before he did radio and WWF. And my father, obviously being the grandson and the son of a barber, they would never dream about growing a beard. It was just never a thing in my family. And then on the flip side, Chuck Wilder, who served in the Navy for years, all right, the Ukrainian side, who moved up to Cleveland from Florida after the war, the Korean War, he never had a beard either. So, like,
that's your mother's side.
That's my mother's side. So mother and father, none of them ever did beards. And I remember when my brother started getting as I call it, the Billy Goat scruff, at a young age, because Joey's, hairy.
He gets read the Riot Act?
Oh yeah. Oh, they grilled him when he tried growing a beard when he was in high school. So never, Kyle, never. The Rizzo boys never had beards.
What would they say if you just came home one holiday?
Dude, I had to cut my hair. I had to cut my hair before I came home.
You survived 6 months. You survived 6 months.
But my mother, at
Mike,
the same time,
you gotta grow up. You gotta have your own opinions
no,
here, dude.
No,
Come on.
man. Family's everything. The family's everything. My mother almost had a heart attack when she saw my hair.
Well, what if
she
the
was
beard
commenting
looked good?
in
You
the
don't even know if it
YouTube
looks
stream.
good. You don't even know if it looks good.
My mother was commenting in the YouTube stream.
Are you anti-facial hair, period?
Big time. Big time. Shave that you-know-what off.
Wow. Never once?
Never
you don't even
once.
know if it looks good.
Never once.
You don't even know if it looks good.
I know it doesn't look good.
I'm more curious to see just whether it looks good.
Brother, I know it doesn't look good.
Because you're a shave everyday guy, so it grows quick.
Correct. Shave everyday guy.
So I'm surprised you're not big on this.
No, God no. God no.
Maybe
No
one of
beards.
these years you'll do the No,
No
Shave
beards.
November event, which is coming about right about now, Top of the Rocks Roxy's Club on Clematis Street, where you have over $100,000 raised amongst 20 participants of the Young Lawyers section of the Palm Beach County Bar Association. Big thanks to them for having us out. That's been Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. If you missed any of the program today, go listen back and watch back on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, or search up Russo and Rizzo, or go watch back on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm, ESPN South Florida, or the ESPN South Florida app. We'll be back at it tomorrow with a lot of National Signing Day. National Signing Day in Palm Beach County is going to be huge. We got specialty local programming from 10 to 12 tomorrow. On top of our local programming, follow along on our social medias as we're going to have all the best coverage in the Palm Beach County Treasure Coast area. It's been Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow right here, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.